Mbak Ria,
Erwin.
gue tuh memperhatikan ya, orang-orang Indonesia tidak terlalu memiliki spirit fashion consciousness.
Oke.
Maksudnya kita ngomong majority people gitu ya,
Alright.
di mana-mana duduk di sebuah taman ngelihat orang warawiri, terus ada di sebuah korporasi, nggak semua orang really aware about how to dress.
Oke.
Sementara dirimu dari tahun 80-an sudah berjaya di panggung catwalk, ceklek. Terus ada di bisnis fashion sekarang, sebelumnya juga ada di sebuah shopping mall yang besar yang really into lifestyle.
Oke.
Apa sih penyebabnya? Kalau memang pemikiran gue ini bener, kenapa kebanyakan orang di Indonesia sepertinya tidak terlalu mementingkan penampilan?
It's a long story. Do we have time?
Of course, baby.
Where is the thing, Win? We go back to my childhood, yeah.
Oke.
Since I was 9, I discovered that I really like modeling. Dari umur 9 tahun itu gue udah centil, Win. Jadi I like to, to practice modeling. I mean to practice go back and forth di depan kaca, posing, Tapi waktu itu nggak ada panduannya. It's
Yeah.
just like an instant. Itu satu. So I really like, modeling, and I would love to be a model. Cita-cita gue gitu. Gue pengen jadi model. Kedua, I love fashions. I like to do experimental. Contohnya, gue seneng banget pakai baju-baju kakak gue yang kegedean, men's shirt ya. Itu kan jadi mini skirt kan buat gue. Jadi atas kan gue masih petit ya.
Yeah.
Terus gue kasih belt, gue pakai sneakers, sepatu bata. Waktu itu gue masih inget banget. Terus gue pakai topi. So, I like to explore, things gitu in terms of wardrobe. So modeling and fashion, they have been always the factors, in my life, and it eventually growing, semakin besar, semakin urge-nya tuh semakin besar juga gitu loh. Dan pada waktu itu sebenarnya keluarga kita kan, kalau gue baby boomer pasti orang tua gue kan lebih udah angkatan, exact, very traditional. So mereka, especially my father, dia selalu bilang, lo mesti jadi ya seperti orang-orang tua zaman dulu kan, lo mesti akademis mesti menjadi dokter atau lawyer atau apa, public relation, whatever it is, but no future of being a model, no futures in art business or entertainment business.
Back then,
yeah. So you have to be,
follow the path.
Konservatif banget. Oke, dan gue menjalankan sekolah, akademis, gue penuhin lah maksudnya. Tapi I cannot go against my urge, This is something which is actually boiling inside me, gitu. Sampai I said to my mother, Mom, I really want to explore this. Dan kebetulan waktu gue umur 12 tahun, wali kelas gue itu waktu dia resign menjadi wali kelas di SD Trisula, dia menjadi fashion director, fashion editor waktu itu dari majalah Gadis.
Wow.
Yes.
Phenomenal.
12 years old. Jadi it was an opportunity. Jadi dia selalu panggil anak-anak muda yang tinggi-tinggi gitu lah, from the school or outside the school, untuk menjadi model majalah Gadis. So there you are. The opportunity is just right in front of my eyes, and I just embrace it, And my parents always said, school first, hobby the second. Jadi, I kept my promise. Jadi gue menjalankan itu gitu loh. Tapi itu menjadi satu peluang yang I don't want to miss this for the world. Jadi gue juga nggak mau merusak kepercayaan orang tua yang diberikan ke gue. So it was a beautiful, a period of time gue dengan majalah Gadis, dengan majalah Femina, dengan majalah Kartini dan lain sebagainya. But gue tuh orangnya very resilient, Win, dan gue I have a strong will and I have a strong head. Kalau gue mau sesuatu, gue harus materialize that gitu loh. Sampai di satu titik I said to myself, nih sesudah gue traveling dengan modeling gue apa segala macem, pergi ke luar negeri dengan Indonesian designers, dengan Mas Iwan, dengan Poppy Darsono, Hari Darsono dan lain sebagainya. Dan I just remember waktu itu I visited Paris for a modeling assignment dengan Mbak Poppy Darsono kalau nggak salah. Lo percaya nggak sih waktu gue liat Eiffel Tower gue nangis, Win. Segitu cintanya gue sama Paris. Dan gue bilang sama diri gue sendiri, I have to come back and I have to stay, no matter what. Yeah, because this is where I'm going to build my life. You know, I don't want to be in Jakarta. I want to explore something new. Jadi menurut gue gini, fase kehidupan gue dari umur 12 tahun sampai 17 tahun gue modeling, you know, I achieve karena dari keinginan gue menjadi model itu gue selalu bilang I want to be the best. I just want to be the model, but I want to be the best. I want to be different, gitu. Dan model waktu itu punya karakter sendiri-sendiri ya, which is actually belum industri, belum apa, model still very few. Jadi kita masing-masing tuh punya kelebihannya sendiri-sendiri karena waktu itu belum industri. So at a certain point of time, I said to myself, I have to open a new chapter, which is my goal is to go to Paris and live there. You know, because I love everything about Paris back then. You know, the fashion, the language, the food, everything. You know, this you know, French culture. So I said to my mother, Mom, I think I want to go back. Terus mau ngapain? Modeling. And then my mother said, no, that's not a good, you know, strategy. Why don't you know, come up with something yang lebih substantial? Learn the language. Good point. Jadi karena emang gue juga suka bahasa Prancis ya.
Yeah, and you are good at it.
Yeah, well, thank you.
Yeah.
And then akhirnya nggak bisa disupport sama you know, my father because ya dia bilang, and then after that what do you want gitu. Dan waktu itu anak laki-laki yang boleh pergi ke luar negeri, anak perempuan sekolah di Jakarta aja, you know. But it's very ironic because my father worked for American company, but dia masih pikiran masih kolot in terms of keluarga. So finally, with the support of my brother and my mother, they all talked to my father, and then my father said, "Okay, 1 year, yeah. You can only do 1 year." I said, "Okay." So I don't want to miss this, you know, misuse this opportunity kan. Akhirnya gue berangkat ke Paris, belajar bahasa Prancis. Tapi I don't know ya, Win. This is something which I believe. If you focused on something positive and you have a positive mind to reach this goal, universe will answer to you. You know what I mean? Kalau Tuhan bilang dia mau kasih, dia kasih. So one day, sesudah pulang dari sekolah, gue jalan-jalan di Saint-Germain-des-Prés, deket sekolah gue gitu, and I pass by butiknya Yohji Yamamoto.
The white tree.
That was Yohji Yamamoto.
Waktu itu betul.
White tree belum ada.
Yeah.
And then there was this very distinguished Asian man, you know, standing in front of the boutique. Waktu gue lewat, dia tegur, excuse me, dia bilang, are you Asian? Dia bilang, yes. Dia bilang, where do you come from? I'm from Indonesia. Terus dia langsung bilang, oh, I know Iwan Tirta. Dia bilang gitu.
Wow.
Amazing kan? Yeah. But do you know Iwan Tirta personally? No, but I know his artwork.
Yeah.
Because I bought batik from Iwan Tirta and I visited, you know, his boutique when I was in Jakarta. So then the conversation kept going. So dia bilang, you are very fluent in English ya? Dia bilang gitu. Yes, dia bilang. What do you do? Well, I'm studying French. Dia bilang. You know what? Dia bilang, sebentar lagi ini mau musimnya Paris Fashion Week. Dia bilang gitu kan. We have a lots of American customers and our manpower itu nggak terlalu fasih dalam berbahasa Inggris. Dia bilang gitu. Would you like to work as a part-time tuh, gayung bersambut kan istilahnya tuh apa coba?
Iya,
kan?
Universe Call.
Universe Call.
Yeah.
Terus dia gitu, gue bilang, oh my goodness me. Gue bilang, I don't know what to say. Gue tuh sampai kayak gagap loh, Win, gitu.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe. Terus but my paper is only, you know, for student
Language.
Yeah, student language. No worry about that. You know, I will, you know, arrange everything for you. Dia bilang gitu. Jadilah during Paris Fashion Week ini gue kerja part time buat si Yohji Yamamoto ini.
Gila.
Ya gak sih? Makanya gue bilang, you have to believe when you have a goal, and lo niatin itu, lo fokus dengan doa, pokoknya lo fokus dengan goalnya itu dengan seluruh your positive thinking, pasti itu akan dijawab, you know. Dan kalau itu memang jodoh, itu akan jodoh.
Iya.
Jadilah I work for 3 months, lama-lama 6 bulan, lama-lama dia bikin working permit buat gue. So I work for the house for 3 years sampai they transfer me. Itu that boutique was a franchise boutique. I was pretty good in marketing and sales sampai they transfer me to a mother boutique. Ya, walaupun gue agak turun jabatan waktu itu, gue menjadi sales, tapi I was hungry for new experience karena to work in mother boutique itu nggak gampang. Yohji Yamamoto itu buat institusinya itu like God. That's how they work. Japanese, you know, they don't play.
Yeah.
When you work with them, you really work with them. You know, no excuse. Tough banget. But I long for new experience. The owner of the franchise is Vietnamese, so it's totally different character. But this is, walaupun SOP-nya hampir sama, tapi the treatment is a little bit different. It's different culture, yeah. So finally, I work in a mother boutique. You know, it was rough, but I'm happy because I learned something. You know, that was the time when I learned, you know, a little bit about retail. You know,
industry.
In the retail industry. And then after that, continue. Abis itu gue setelah selesai dari Yohji 3 tahun. Gue selesaikan kursus bahasa Prancis gue, and then datang lagi opportunity. I came to visit, waktu itu banyak orang Indonesia yang datang kemana ke Paris kan, and I always took them to shops and everything, and kebetulan gue sering banget pergi ke Chanel, and I got another offer to work with Chanel.
Oh la la.
For 1.5 years, you know. But in between, jadi everything was, Tuhan tuh baik banget sama gue, Win, bener deh. Jadi he really, I mean, God gave me everything what I wanted, you know, what I wished, itu semua terjadi gitu loh. Dan it was not easy. Life in Paris as a yellow skin, itu nggak easy because I have to deal with, you know, the work stay permit and then work permit sama segala macam. Walaupun mereka provide, tapi I have to go to.
Yeah, the treatment is different, right?
The treatment is different gitu loh. So it was quite a good fight juga gitu loh. It was tough, but I enjoyed because I think that's where I built my personality actually. You know, because umur 23 tahun pergi ke satu negara di mana gue cuma tahu satu orang loh, Win, waktu itu. Dan gue mesti mencari semuanya sendiri, mesti explore semuanya sendiri. It wasn't really easy. You know, di tahun itu di mana, you know,
belum terbuka, belum global citizens,
belum, and racism masih ada waktu
betul,
itu.
Tebal sekali ya.
Oh, tebal sekali, dan it wasn't easy. So it builds my character, you know, and the whole thing. And yang tadi barusan lo bilang juga style. I think I got it from there too. You know, I was surrounded by people in the industry. You know, that's something that I see every day. You know, but it also you also have an it factor ya untuk menjadi untuk mempunyai personal style gitu. It's a long journey juga gitu loh. Tapi if you are surrounded by this kind of people every day, you breathe fashion, you see this every day, you know. Dan gue jarang sekali karena pekerjaan gue juga, jadi gue jarang juga bump into Indonesian, you know, people. Most of the people in the industry, they are really French, or they are Jews, or they are, you know, European, you know. Jadi campur aduk. It's just like a melting pot.
Yeah.
So I think that's where all this, you know, building up, you know, to answer your questions, you know. Jadi style itu dibangun dari seperti layaknya lo membangun hidup lo, Win. It's a life journey.